I went to middle school and spent most of my life going to school in Beijing or at the International School of Beijing. So when I was a kid, when I was 3 months old, my family moved to Beijing because of my dad's work. And I was going to school there ever since. And then we moved back to Korea, to Jeju Island, when I was 13. And I started high school at KISJ. I think I started speaking English ever since I was really young because I was surrounded by a lot of foreigners in Beijing, a lot of embassy kids, and most of my classmates were from all over the world. So I had the distinct privilege of learning English tangentially rather than, focusing on like trying to learn it. And I think it's developed to the point where it's my first language and I'm most comfortable speaking English. I think in English. It's not that I don't speak Korean and Chinese, but I'm most comfortable in English. And I think it's because of my background.
I went to public elementary school in Korea, and after I moved to Japan with my family in 2011, I went to international school in Japan until the first year of high school. And then I left Japan and homeschooled in Korea.
Before going to college, I moved to the United States when I was 14 as an 8th grader. I went to a Catholic middle school with a small student body where each grade comprised of about 40 students. Then I went to a Catholic all-girls high school, which was a bigger community.
When I was little, I never imagined going to a school in a different country. My mom always put a big emphasis on learning English since I was very little. So I did go to a English kindergarten, which helped me so much in my journey of studying abroad in the US. That started when I was about in middle school. I studied in the US since my 8th grade year until I graduated high school. And then I moved to the UK to study art in university.
So I actually do have an experience of living in America before going to college. I lived in Denver, Colorado, and I did part of my elementary and middle school education while I was there. So thanks to all those experiences, I actually adapted to American college life pretty quickly because I didn't face a lot of cultural or linguistic barriers. However, I do think the situation for me would have been different if I never had the experience of living in Denver.
I went to a normal Korean elementary school and middle school, but I started going to an international school in 9th grade. Although before, I also went to an English-speaking kindergarten in Korea, and I have lived in Toronto, Canada in 2nd and 3rd grade, which helped a lot in improving my English. So I think I started speaking English since I was a toddler. Like I learned it in kindergarten as well, but I really started speaking it as a language when I was like 5 years old. So throughout elementary school and middle school, I pretty much improved my English through Korean private tutoring. And I personally did not enjoy Korean style private tutoring in private institutions, but I think English is the biggest thing that I got out of it, because without them, I would have forgotten all of my English that I learned in Canada throughout elementary school and middle school. But I was able to maintain it because I continued to speak English and I continued to read and write in English.
I started speaking English or started learning English when I was about 7 or 8. And a big life changer to my life was when I went to New Zealand. Spent about 6 years in New Zealand, and that was a great experience for me because I learned a lot, not only language-wise, but a lot about people. And after that, I came back to Korea and I attended an international school in Jeju. And yeah.